Now, though, Janet Jackson has thanked her fans for their support after Justin Timberlake posted an apology to her over their now infamous 2004 Super Bowl performance, where he tore off a part of Janet's outfit on what was called a wardrobe malfunction. After the incident, Janet was berated by the press and became a pop pariah. Her career all but ended. Meanwhile, Justin's career soared. Well, in a statement on Friday, Justin said he had failed both Janet and his ex-girlfriend, Britney Spears. Now, many have said that that apology was too little, too late. What do you reckon, Frankie?
I just think, for me, I just hope it was followed up by a personal apology to Janet and Britney. Because for me, I feel like it just came out of the Britney documentary, so he felt almost like he had to apologise. But I don't know, I think it's one of those things, having been someone that's been in the music industry, I do also feel like at the time he was quite young, he would have had people telling him what to do and what not to do. And maybe now he's got older, he has had time to reflect on that, and he does feel like he can speak up and say what he actually feels rather than what he's being told to say and how to act. But
well, I don't know, 2004 isn't that long ago. He was a grown-up. If we're just concentrating on the Janet stuff, he was a grown-up. And the reality of it is, it didn't take a genius to work out that she was being blamed solely for what happened, whereas his career, as we said, soared as a result. And it's like, which side of history do you want to be on? Do you want to stand up for the woman who was supposedly your friend, who's being, you know, beaten from pillar to post in terms of her career and in terms of her as a person? She all but disappeared after that point. Justin, though, soared. And he could have said something at the time, but he chose not to. And it's like, yes, you can have people telling you what to do left, right and centre, but you also make a choice. And he made a choice to continue looking at it as a bit of a joke.
I mean, he has apologised before. He has said, I'm sorry it happened. I don't know, it's interesting. I read an article on this, I remember, a couple of years ago. It was a really analytical article about the actual... And they tracked down the tailor of Janet Jackson's outfit, and they spoke to... And it was quite interesting. The producer that day was a female, the first ever female producer of a halftime show in the Super Bowl. And she very much came down on the side of Justin Timberlake. And she said, oh, I think Justin's handled it really well. And actually, Janet hasn't handled it as well. And the insinuation, and that's all it is, because there's no facts here, really, is that it was very much her idea, this whole outfit thing, and that Justin Timberlake was asked to do it. So I don't really know... If he wants to apologise to Janet Jackson, that's absolutely fine. But I don't really know what he's apologising for, because she was also a grown-up.
No, gosh, yes. But when you're reading the paper and when you're realising that somebody who was as big as Janet Jackson, whose career practically disappeared...
Oh, no, I agree with that, but that's the industry, isn't it? That's the media and the industry. But is it Justin Timberlake's fault?
As an individual, later on down the line, he was making a joke of this. When he was performing, he was having his dancers, you know, pretend to tear his T-shirt off, making a joke of it. You're making a joke of the fact that a Jackson's career was tanked as a result of something that happened with the both of you, but your career soared. You don't sit there at any point and think, do you know what? This seems a bit unfair to me.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I don't know. I sometimes struggle with this whole... kind of, you know, human beings make mistakes, and it's like, do we all have to go through the kind of the virtue signalling prism of now and look at history and go, we've all got to, you know, we've all got to apologise for something that we did
I do think
between two consenting adults however many years ago. I mean, it's kind of a weird conflation of his apology to Janet Jackson and his apology to Britney as well, because they're two sort of quite separate things, aren't they? Yeah.
I do think as well everyone underestimates how many people make these decisions. Like, Janet wouldn't have just come up with this idea to have her thing ripped off, and Justin wouldn't have just done this idea on stage with his dance. Like, there are so many people that are involved in making these decisions.
And actually, one pop prince, Justin Timberlake, to stand up for his mate. What do you think, Charlene?
I just think I'm really sorry, but you've run out of time to get my opinion. So move on.
I'm ever so sorry, Charlene. I'll make the next segment all about you. Don't you worry about that.